Moving on, the next item is 2022-0708, introduced by Commissioner Thacker.
Honorable Rick Brewer, Chairman of the Budget Committee, members of the Office of the Board of Commissioners, here in May 22,
Can't hear you.
Maybe those funds, $400,000 from Northeast State, Tennessee Regional Treatment Facility. Mr. Chairman, I so move, and it's got the amount here. I'm assuming everybody has read the rest of that resolution.
Motion by Commissioner Thacker. Second. By Commissioner Barker. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Lanning.
I just want just a quick clarification. So there's 1.6 million, and this is allocating $400,000 of it. The remaining 1.2 million is not being used in this budget. It's not being used in general fund. It's not being allocated at all. Correct?
Correct. Mr. Chairman, recognize.
Okay. It's nice to be here again. My name is Judge Boniface. I've spoken to you before. I just wanted to very, very briefly go over the fact that Judge Ross has a fantastic program. I want him to get, in fact, I talked to him after I went to the budget meeting. I was like, there's still money on the table. Please get a proposal together because what he does for our community is amazing, okay? But we do two different things on two different levels. Judge Ross takes care of misdemeanor, people that have misdemeanor offenses. My court takes care of people with felonies. I take care of who have to be high risk, high need to be in my program. My program goes for years, so we have individuals longer. That's why we need an inpatient facility. What I can do with felons, you cannot do with misdemeanors because you don't have as much time. So it is imperative for our community. I want you to know too, I am from here. Not only am I the judge here, but I own property here. I bought in Hawkins County because I love it. When I started working over here as a judge, I fell in love with this area. I bought the old Lawson's estate place on the river. I love it. I want to help our community. I'm not asking, I know that some people think this is money that goes to Carter County and only Carter County. That is not the way it works. It will be for our citizens, and there will be plenty of our citizens that will benefit from this. The way it will work is they will stay here in Hawkins County until I get them a bed up there. Then once I get them a bed up there, it's roughly a 2-year program. They will come out with technical degree of some sort so they are employable. They will be clean for at least 2 years. They will be back in your workforce. They will have all of their families back together, hopefully. And that is, we are, and even, I mean, Sheriff Lawson needs money too. We're all combating the same problem. We're just coming at it from different areas. And I don't want to take anything away from Judge Ross, because like I said, he does a fantastic job, but he cannot meet all the needs of our community. And I need to be able to have a place to send our people. If we just send them to a 30-day program, I can assure you that the people that are in my program, that's not going to stick. It is not enough. These are not people that are new to this problem. These are hardened addicted people. They need a longer program. We don't have it in East Tennessee. This will be the first. It would be wonderful. The governor, I just met him, 2 weeks ago. He was so excited that our communities are coming behind us. He said it's a once in a lifetime thing. If we could have found a facility in Hawkins County that was free, we would have, but we couldn't. But we did find one in Carter County, the decommissioned jail up there, a prison, the workhouse, for $1 a year. $1 a year for a facility that is ready to be walked into. So we have to, as you guys have seen, we have all the proposals on it as far as how much it's going to cost. We've done all the research. So we're ready to move and get this thing started. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. It will not be a recurring thing, and I'm not asking for everybody else to know. I'm not asking for taxes to go up. This is from a fund that was meant for this problem. So that's all. I have to say thank you.
I've got some questions when you recognize us.
Sorry.
Okay. Commissioner Brewer stepped out, and just before he stepped out, he asked me to preside over the meeting. So he's got some questions and stuff too. But, yes, Mr. Hunt.
And I've got, so, well, I guess we'll start. How many counties have joined in the amount so far?
Yes. I'll pop that right there. Get my glasses. Okay. Carter County has approved all of their 1.8 million. Redmond has approved all of their 389,000. Johnson County approved 50,000. The town of Irwin gave 170,000, which was all of their money. The town of Unicoi gave 102. Sullivan gave all of their 3.5. City of Kingsport gave 1.5. Hamlin County, I know the mayor and I are going in front of the commission in August. He has already agreed to propose 500,000 to the Carter County Facility for Hamlin County to be involved, because they want to be part of this. They won't be able to utilize the beds, because if you pay, you get to use them, and you get to say how it's running. So your commission would decide how this is done. But those are the cities so far that we did.
Then my next question, I had very little understanding of it, the funding. Is half of it funded from the state already
This-
promised?
The state has agreed to give a recurring, I think it's 1.8, I think, million, which is in that packet that we gave you previously about the cost. It covers the cost of it, and the government has, the national has also agreed to give us that facility, to lease that facility.
Like $1 or
Yeah.
something?
Yes, sir.
What term limit?
They've given us 5 years right now.
Okay,
And
do
then
they-
there is talk that if we can get this up and running, that, it would grow. And
okay, do they have to give you like a 1 year if they don't refer it? What's the promise that you could get it for the next 5 years?
if that's pretty much what they're promising is the 5 years. Now,
Nothing in writing that's promised.
no, we have a contract with them.
You do
which
have
they've
a
already
contract.
started to do it, yes. So we've already created the committee. So we don't have, if Hawkins hasn't decided if they want to be part of it. If you did want to be part of it, then you'll get on that committee. And that committee, though, is already negotiating the contracts with National. So we've already started that.
Okay, my next question, it's like the sales ratio, okay? Some give a little, some give a lot. And my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, the commission will vote and they're electing possibly the mayors of the counties to be on their board, is that correct?
Y'all would decide.
Okay,
You want your mayor to go, you want
how,
somebody else?
does each one have one vote, or does it matter what you give?
No, it's not gonna be based on, each person would have one vote.
How many board of directors you gonna have?
Well, we haven't gotten that far yet, because we don't know how much money we're gonna have, and how big it's gonna be.
What I'm getting at, is it gonna be one board of director per county that contributes?
One person per county on the
Well,
board.
how could you have a
Yes.
vote? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
We haven't, it depends, we won't know how big our board's gonna be until we know how many counties are.
Counties, yeah, I understand, that's the reason I was asking. Have you made you don't know the maintenance and the expense cost and
Yeah,
reoccurring?
that's in
But
your packet.
okay, is there gonna be something like an HOA possibly come down the road that all the counties that opt for it would have a reoccurring expense?
There's not gonna be reoccurring, we don't believe at all. No, this is a one-time ask. This budget, if we can get what we're asking for, we will have a contingency fund that will cover smaller things like that. Plus, you have to understand the people that are in our program will be paying rent. They will also be doing chores.
To help offset. And so there's no cost, no set amount whatsoever. If you,
And the person that does the treatment, which is Families Free, they also have funding, a tremendous amount of funding.
is it state like self or fully funded? How is it?
Through the state, I think, I'm not sure exactly where, her name is Lisa Tipton, has all of her grants from, but she has a tremendous amount of grants that keep her program going as well. Just like Hamlin County has a grant for this program, and I'm running the people that I have from Hawkins, because I'm trying to grow this, I'm running that through my Hamlin County program right now, because the grant was with Hamlin County. But this next year, they've increased my grant from Nashville, which makes me able to come into Hawkins more aggressively, and I will actually have court in Hawkins County instead of right now, your people have to come to Hamlin, so.
I've got another question, like what you and Ross and all the other judges do, this rehab center. What would happen if Sheriff Lawson and his guys and the other departments, what if they didn't do their job? We wouldn't need this facility, or you might not even have a job, would you? You know,
No, I'd still have a job on the civil court judge.
civil, okay, I didn't know which one if you was scared.
But for recovery court,
For recovery
I
court,
wish it was so simple, I could just say if everybody do their job.
but how, would you have a need if, what I'm getting at, the analogy, if the wheel doesn't turn, if they don't do their job to catch the ones.
Got this guy for 2 more months.
The process doesn't go to be rehab, correct?
Well, they have to be in my court.
So somebody has to get them, catch them doing the wrong
Somebody
thing.
has to be arrested, then charges have to be brought, and then people come in front of the judge, Duggar, Alex Pearson, Judge Pearson and Duggar, and they refer it to me. So if they don't come in front of Alex and, well, sorry, not Alex, Judge Pearson and Judge Duggar, then the answer is no, I wouldn't have a recovery court. That'd be a great day if I didn't have a recovery court, but unfortunately, my recovery court is growing so quickly. I've only been doing it a year, and I've gone from 1 to 25 participants. And I haven't even gotten into Hawkins County. I've got 3 people from Hawkins County right now, but I have so many more that could be in my
And
program.
like you said, the whole logistics plan is not, it's in place, but it's not set forth in stone until you see all the counties and how it's gonna work.
Well, correct. There will be things that you have to hammer out. I mean, we have to know who's gonna, like I said, who do you guys want from Hawkins County to be your voice to bring back? You know. And then if Hawkins County proposes, we'll say you want 2 people on the board. You guys, I'll do the part, the judges will do the part running the court. You guys will decide how it's run.
Okay, the next, okay, after the operation gets in place and stuff, and the ones that opt to get in, that's a one-time, you only do it now, or you cannot enroll, correct?
So if they come in front of me and,
No, the counties,
oh, the county,
contribute,
if you, yes, basically,
it's a one-time
unless,
contribute.
unless they get funds and they want to. If somebody wants to come in,
Yeah.
we're not gonna say no.
And like, you, from my understanding, you don't want any of the counties to take anything out of the general fund, it's only the baby doe money.
Absolutely. We don't wanna raise taxes, we don't wanna do anything like that. All we wanna do is, I'm asking for partial, not all of it, just part of the funds that were brought here because of the opioid crisis. So, I mean, everybody knows we still have a huge problem here. And it's a very long issue.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make an amendment to this resolution. If it's time, we're gonna wait.
On the floor. So you can
Okay,
make it.
I'd like to amend it, I'd like to change the amount to $50,000 to the recovery court and give Sheriff Ronnie Lawson $100,000 for his drug rehab, where he can be able to continue to do his job so they can have a recovery court. He doesn't have a rehab program, so he might not think about it. The drug fund. I said drug.
Wait, in addition to the 400?
No, the limit, the 400 goes away, the 50 to the recovery court in Carter County.
So 50,000.
Yeah, I would like
This motion, that's a right to this
Okay. Mr. Housewright, if you don't care, would you repeat your amendment?
What I would like to do is to change the amount of the 400 in this resolution to 50,000 coming from Hawkins County out of the baby doe fund, and 100,000 to Sheriff Ronnie's license in his, what is the proper term you use? Drug fund. So that would be a total of 150 baby does.
That's right.
I'm going to reduce.
Yeah, that part, he could do.
250, is that what we're saying?
400 to 50. And add 100,000 for a totally separate program, which is a rider, that's not like.
Well, but he could say, I want to reduce 400 to 50.
Okay. Mr. Phillips, there was a question presented by Commissioner DeWitt regarding a rider. What is your?
As I understand his motion, as far as this 400,000 is concerned, he's wanting to make a motion to amend to reduce that to 250, am I correct?
50 from Hawkins County, and 100 to Sheriff Ronnie Lawson's drug
You
fund.
can't do that.
Well, so, but basically, as far as this resolution is concerned, you want to reduce it from 400 to 50. And I think the other matter would have to be by a separate act, because that's a separate issue, or put the money somewhere else, whereas this resolution is concerning how much we're gonna give on to the recovery program by this amount. So you can certainly reduce that amount and see what happens. And then if that money is left over by a separate resolution, you can make the motion that you want.
You want me just to restate, I would like to reduce the amount of the $400,000 in this resolution to $50,000 contribution from Hawkins County, depending on the completion and how it goes with their program.
I'm not sure of that last part.
We'd be independent on, you just have to say.
We'll just word it out.
$50,000 stop, period.
Okay.
Okay. Do we have a second? Oh,
Sorry, Matt, just like they said, change the amount from 400 to 50 from Hawkins County.
All right. See you second.
okay. Do we have a second for Mr. Housewright's motion? Commissioner Allen, do you wish to second that? I did. Okay. Got a motion made by Commissioner Housewright, motion's been seconded by Commissioner Allen. Any discussion?
I personally would like to hear Judge Ross and Sheriff Lawson before we vote on the amendment, if that's possible.
Okay.
That's two separate things, the
As
rehab.
far as this resolution is concerned, you want to reduce it from 400 to 50.
Well, then I'll request to speak and give that opportunity to Judge Ross and Sheriff Lawson on this amendment.
Okay.
All right, first of all, I just want to correct a few things. I know Judge Bonface didn't have any intentions of misrepresenting, but one thing I want to make clear is we both operate recovery courts where the participants are not in jail. They report to the recovery court. She and I, she has a felony one, I have a misdemeanor one. We both operate under the best practices of the National Association of Drug Court Professionals, whose national conference I missed today to be here. I'm driving to Nashville when we get done. But we both operate under the same principles, same guidelines, all those things. Our program is anywhere from 12 months to 24 months. We've got people that are longer than that. So to say that we can't provide a year's worth of service, that's not correct. We do that regularly, and we have people in our program right now that have been here 18 months, going on 2 years. Their sentences with me are placed on, they're placed on hold while they're in my program, so I can keep them indefinitely, as long as they choose to stay in the program, and they do well and all that, so, that part's not correct. The other thing that I want to point out is she deals with state inmates that are convicted of felonies that are housed at the expense of the state. Okay, so by releasing those inmates to go to this program in Carter County, you're taking the burden off the state to pay for them, and now we're sending our money up there to pay for them. Okay, so that's one other difference. I keep county inmates out of our county jail, where we don't have enough staff now to look after them. Okay, if it weren't for all of our efforts, and Amy was here earlier, we've got programs that I've brought in. If it weren't for all those programs, us sending people to rehab, there would be 246 people in jail. There'd be 350 to 400 or whatever. Then you'd really be in trouble. You know, I deal with drug addicts, drug users that are in active addiction. According to Judge Street, and he's correct, they're talking about helping drug dealers, not users, okay? So the analogy that I have, you guys have an opportunity here to help some people. So, Lord forbid you go home tonight, you come up on a wreck, you realize that a drunk driver is running a stop sign and hit a busload of school children. You've got time to save one or the other. You save the drunk driver, or you save the school children. And that's what you guys are looking at today. So, you know, I know they're not asking for all of it, but I told Judge Montes the other day, I am asking for all of it. I put a proposal down there. You know, I want to just go over that quickly. That all the proceeds from the baby doe money go to reallocated to the Hawkins County Recovery Court Foundation. That's the foundation that we started. It's a 501c3 organization, and its sole purpose is to support the Recovery Court program and the citizens of Hawkins County. We put a provision in that agreement that if for any reason the facility that's constructed is ever shut down or ceases to function in the capacity in which we have proposed, then that facility and all the real property would revert to the ownership of Hawkins County. The Hawkins County Commission would have 2 board members, either from the commission or recommended by the commission, on our foundation's board. That we would be a self-sustaining entity, meaning our people would go out and have jobs, they would work, they would pay rent. That's a model that's worked throughout the nation. It seems to work well. One thing to address, if this program does, if we don't help them with their program and they say, well, you can't be involved. If we have citizens of Hawkins County that are serving their state prison sentence and have to serve the whole thing, and they're being released, if they need assistance with transitional housing or treatment, I put in here that they would be welcome to apply to come and live in our transitional program, as long as necessary, as long as they meet the criteria. And the other thing is the daily operation. We've got a recovery court, we've got our community justice program, we've got Strong Futures through Ballad. There's a meeting next week with another opportunity with Frontier Health through the Kinross program. So we have several different organizations within my court that they'll collaborate together. And I've also spoken with Mr. Henry, and he's willing to move his operation there. So we've got staff there during the day that can supervise and be there and all that. So, you know, we can either have something that's going to serve the citizens of Hawkins County for generation after generation after generation, or you can give money, $400,000 of it, 5 years from now. I don't know what you have, nothing probably, but you know, Judge Boniface has a program. She has a recovery court program. She's right. It's a year old. Her budget is way higher than mine. I've had mine for, well, only had a grant for 8 years. I had mine for 10 years. But we have no money. You know we have no money. I've been here telling you all that. Have more fundraisers and things like that. But this county's never given us any money. This isn't the county's money. This was opioid baby doe money for the purpose of helping those who have suffered from addiction from the opioid crisis. That's what I see every day. spent 9 hours sitting up there today. Almost every one of them, drug cases. 9 hours in a row dealing with these people every day, okay? For 10 years. And I'm committed to another 8 years at least. So, you know, there's nothing that I want to do to help this county. I've been trying for 10 years. And I hope that at this point you guys can doubt that. So, any questions?
So what I'd like to know is, once the baby doe money's gone, how are you gonna sustain your operation?
That's what I said, part of this, it would be modeled after the, we send people to rehabs all over. Knoxville, Sevierville, Memphis, South Carolina, all over the place, we send people. And the way almost all of them work is they're brought in, they help you find jobs, we partner with employers. I've already spoken to some places about that. But partner with them, they pay a certain amount of rent every week to be there, and that money goes into the fund, pays for the lights and food, the health food stamps and stuff, pays for all that. So that model has been there. We have people in the community. We have a gentleman that lives in Johnson City, I believe, where he lives now. So I sent him to rehab 8 or 9 years ago, and he now is starting, him and his wife are starting and running other rehab programs. I mean, this is a guy that was here and was a drug addict and, you know, driving around on our streets, intoxicated and all that stuff. He's now starting other rehab programs. He wants to help us with these kinds of things, so that's how he did it.
I have a question that someone in my district wanted to ask. One program versus the other, that they said that they had a family member that had been through, I guess, recovery. I assume your recovery court, I didn't go into specifics, but, and said that it, to quote him exactly, it's better if they get the heck out of Dodge. So is it
I can address
not
that. Yeah, that's
better
been
for
my-
them to maybe get out of this area?
Yeah, let me talk to you about that, because that's the biggest reason, that's one of the biggest reasons I want to do this, because our biggest issue that we've had is I'll send people to Knoxville or Pigeon Forge or Nashville or wherever, and they do well there. They'll stay sober for a year, they'll do well. And the problem is, when they come back, they're back with the people they knew, they're back in the places they knew, and a lot of them go downhill. That's why I wanted a program where maybe we could still send some of those people to those places. Part of their agreement with their programs or whatever is that once they complete those programs, they have to come back and live here in our program for 6 months, so we can be there with them and support them as they transition back into our own community, so they don't have as much tendency to relapse. And that's one of the biggest reasons I want to do this.
Judge Ross, let me ask you.
Yes, sir.
Number one, I heard you mention your board of directors. Do you have police officers on your board of directors? Do you have anybody from the
I mean,
sheriff?
I'll be honest with you, as far as the Recovery Court Foundation's board of directors, we have one, but we have a Halloween party once a year, and maybe a Valentine party or something where we make a few $100s that we can help use for our participants to get a tire or get their teeth fixed or buy some food or something, you know. So there's not a lot of activity because we don't have anything.
Do you work pretty well with the drug unit? Because I mean, one of the things that Sheriff Lawson has mentioned to us is the drug fund is getting depleted due to lack of seizures and public sales and things like that. So he's actually advocated for us to think about that drug fund as well. So I mean, do you work with those narcotics officers and so on?
As far as on the Recovery Court board that determines who comes in,
Yes, sir.
we do not have a representative. I'd like to.
Yeah.
We do not have a representative from law enforcement. We're supposed to.
Okay.
Anything else?
Commissioner Brewer, I believe you have a question.
I'd like to express my opinion, of course, everybody's got one. But, I think you could, we all know, Judge Ross, that drugs, most of the crime in Hawkins County is contributed to drugs, connected to drugs, one way or the other. And, you know, I think that it's $1.6 million. And there was also a mention of the Isaiah House, which you got those kids, most of them, because of drugs is the reason that they end up there. Because their parents are sorry and won't take care of them, they're on drugs. I mean, you know, I know everybody can make a mistake.
Transitional,
but they're-
continuing the foster care system,
But-
temporary placement in the state, right?
Yes, but $1.6 million, I don't know why we couldn't contribute equal amount to these recovery courts, because what I'm understanding is, and Judge Boniface, you correct me if I'm wrong, I think Judge Street said this, is they was using this as like a pilot, looking at this, what you all are trying to do, and more than likely, the state's gonna come in and fund this.
It is, Morgan County is a similar program. That's why we've been working with the governor's office, so Deputy Governor Ely has been working with us. They are very invested in this program. They want to see it up and running, and they probably will then take it over if the commission would want them to take it over. That would be the people who invested in the beginning. If they say they want the state to come in and do it, then that would be the vote. If you guys say, no, we're running this thing, we know what we're doing a great job, we're gonna keep it going. You know, that would be, then they would just fund us. But yes, sir.
But in my understanding is that they would never be a reoccurring expense,
There will not.
because, I mean, everybody knows this baby dough money is, and if we're not careful with this baby dough money, if we don't spend it on the drugs like it's supposed to be, it'll be spent and we'll never know where it went.
And
And-
I'll say one thing, I mean, Governor Lee signed the law last July to start this exact type of program, one in West Tennessee, one in East Tennessee. All they had to do was apply for it. They didn't bother to even apply to get the state to pay for this.
We did. They
No, you did not. You did not apply. I'm sorry, don't correct me, please. You did not apply within the deadline. I had a conversation with the head of the Tennessee Association of Mental Health and all that. It was asking Judge Goodwin, why did you not apply for this? We had a whole hour-long discussion. No, you weren't. It was in a session at the Tennessee Association. You were not there. It was, I was there with Judge Goodwin in a hearing, or in a class. Anyway,
Let's,
but that's fine. Can I speak? Why can we not divide it equally? I'll tell you, because what I'm looking at doing, that land between Domino's and the Justice Center, we can purchase that property for $145,000, which is much less than the appraised value. If we get $400,000, then we can buy the land, we might be able to grade it a little bit and pave it and put a mobile home on it. That's it. I mean, if we're actually gonna do something to help people that's gonna be there for generations, then we need the whole thing. We need a large amount of money to get it going. That's why. I mean, that's the problem.
I've got a question, I've been concerned with that.
I was on the board. Yeah. I mean, before I forget it, Nancy, I was not trying to, comment to what Chairman Brewer said to divide it equal is incorrect in my opinion. You just see him arguing of he said, she said. Okay, second, we're trying to keep the money, and a couple of you just said the problem started in Hawkins County. And I stated earlier, the wheel turning comes from Sheriff Lawson's. I asked Judge Boniface if they cannot catch the people to protect us or whatever. She's criminal, but they got to get there for them to do the job. Why spend, and I agree completely, it needs to be spent on that subject, but not all of it. You've got to wait till the pavement hits the road to see how Carter County's operation is going to work. He's wanting a mansion on a hill, a mansion. I'm using that break. I'm mobile home.
Give me a break.
You said you want, give me a break. You want 1.6 million?
I'm wanting to build a residential facility for males, a residential facility for females.
1.6 million, you can definitely buy a really nice double wide, okay? But where I'm going with this is to make it work for everyone. You bowed up on her, so in and y'all all had psychology classes. And to me, a truthful person should be a calm person, not a
You
heated.
usually align you about something?
I didn't say that.
Wow.
You did.
Okay.
No, I'm just
I've been here for
saying.
10 years trying to help people. I get nothing out of it.
I'm saying a truthful.
They
I'm
got-
saying a
Okay,
truthful.
so he's speaking.
Yes, a truthful person is a calm person. Y'all are peers of the community. So y'all got at each other. We are trying to learn to distribute this money to the best purposes equally. And Sheriff Lawson, how can he do his job to help you if he doesn't have any money?
Okay. Commissioner Barton.
I guess I have a concern about putting a drug rehab center where you're proposing putting it, simply because we got a Rogersville City Park where most of our children are. We got a Rogersville City Pool in that same section. So I've got a concern, and I've had a lot of people call and say something to us about that.
I can buy a house on Main Street, put it in a residential facility.
Well, is that the attitude as a judge
No,
you should
but I
have?
mean, if I'm putting it next door to the Justice Center, I can think of a more safe place to.
Well, the Justice Center, they can't come and go as they please. At that place, they can come and go as they please.
No.
And that's my
That's
concern.
not gonna go as you please.
It's a halfway house, you do not say?
No. They'll go to work, they'll go to treatment, they'll go to probation, they'll go, it's not just come and go as you please. It's not just a place for them to live and hang out. No, I don't agree with that.
Okay, I just have a lot of people that are concerned with being that close to a place where children are, at all the time. And that's something I think is, in your position, you ought to think about.
I have thought that, that's why I thought that
Thank
would be
you,
the safest place.
thank you.
Okay. We've got lady back here with your hand, ma'am. I don't know your name, but,
My name is Sue Barkley. I came before you back in March when
ma'am, come
the,
up and speak to the mic, please.
my name is Sue Barkley. I came before you all when the ARPA funding was first brought up about sober living. Nancy, I'd like to talk to you specifically about why would that be a good place for this. We've got drug addicts, trap houses a block away from city school right now. People are concerned about where we're gonna put these transitional sober living homes. Facility, these addicts are living right next door to them. This is a place that would help these people get clean and get help. We need to build a recovery community in Hawkins County. Judge Ross has the idea. He has the idea on how to do it. We need to back him 100%. And the money should go to him. Now, I understand about the felonies and giving those folks too, but those are the higher end, and most, I could be wrong, Sheriff Lawson, Judge Ross, the majority of the crimes in this county is misdemeanor drug offense, correct?
Not far.
So that money needs to go to those people, even the people before they get into court, we need to help them. 2 weeks ago, I took somebody up to Bristol to a sober living facility for Judge Ross because he needed somebody to transport them up there. I said yes. We have big problems and people are worried about what this housing facility, you live right next door to them right now. They're stealing from you right now. I live on a street where there are three people I know dealing and doing drugs in my little subdivision. I have been stolen from them before. My tools, my equipment have come up missing. They live right next door. I want something to be done. I don't want it to be passed over anymore. Judge Ross has it. He knows how to do it. I have more friends that have come through his recovery court that I've seen them succeed, but they're also falling right now. I'm shedding tears because they're back on the streets doing the things they're not supposed to be doing because they don't have the support system they need in this county. We need more than 30 days. In the transitional facilities, the sober living, it's like I told you guys in the beginning, they pay rent, it's self-sustaining. It's the initial startup cost. How about a farm in the middle of nowhere? If nobody's happy with the drug addicts living next to them, then buy a farm. buy a farm. We can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We can have animals from the Humane Society go live on the farm. Because they give unconditional love is what a drug addict needs. Somebody who will love them unconditionally. Let's get a farm then. I don't know what the answer is, but to just throw the money to Carter County just because you don't know what else to do with it. People don't want to talk about this. We need to talk about it. We need to.
Okay, thank you, man. Okay.
I'll try to be very brief. My name's Todd Eastep. I'm an assistant public defender in Greene County. I happen to be on the ballot right now to be the next public defender over the 4-county district, which includes Hawkins County. My wife was born and raised in Hawkins County. Her family, thank goodness my in-laws are kind enough to let me hunt on 40 acres of property down here that I love dearly. And Hawkins County means a great deal to me. My kids are over here almost every other weekend, spending time with their grandparents. So that's a little bit of my Hawkins County speech, but there's a couple of things that I think that we need to clear up. Now, I was in the Marine Corps, and so, and I served in the infantry. If I was doing a mission of some sort, whether it be extricating an ambassador from a hostile territory somewhere overseas, and there's a truck driver and a school bus, I'm going to assess the situation. I'm going to save whoever and however many that I can. And I believe Sheriff Lawson's people would do the same thing. I mean, if your nephew or your grandfather is the DUI driver, you might have some skin in the game about him getting rescued too. Because we're talking about human beings, and every human being has value. Whether they're labeled an addict, or in recovery, or have never had an addiction to an opioid. Now, at least that's what my Bible teaches me, and that's certainly how I feel about it. And they make no qualms about that in my campaign. But I'm not here for any political purpose. I'm here for the people of Hawkins County. You're not going to get rid of the opioid and meth epidemic by only attacking it at the misdemeanor level. Unlike combat across the globe, you are going to have to fight a multiple fronts. Not every person that goes to felony court is a drug dealer. You could have a non-violent, non-drug offense and go to this program that we're proposing and that the judges are proposing and that I support in Carter County. And it benefits Hawkins County residents. Just because the physical location isn't here doesn't mean the money's not being spent on Hawkins County. It is. On the most valuable asset of Hawkins County, its people. Now, I digress just a little bit. When we're talking about how it works all throughout the state on all these drug rehabs, okay? Most rehabs that I see charge $350 for your first month's rent. And that's how they get it going. And once you get a job and all that, it does become self-sufficient. So Judge Ross has got a point there to some extent. And Mr. Howard, you have a great point in a sense that we need to attack it on every front, whether it's Hawkins County, or it's Greene County where I live, Hancock County, Hamlin County, or up Johnson County in the far east of East Tennessee. All over Appalachia, this is a problem. And you have an opportunity to fight it on 2, even 3 fronts. Now, Sheriff Lawson, I'm glad you're sitting down. I'm not a member of this commission, but I think that it is reasonable for this commission to fund what Judge Boniface and Judge Street and every circuit court level judge in our district, that's Judge Pearson, Judge Phillips, Judge Duggar, and Judge Boniface, all support $400,000. You could give Judge Ross the rest of it. I wouldn't have any qualms with that at all. You could give him $1 million, and you could give you could give Sheriff Lawson $200,000 for his drug fund. You could split it 3 ways, and still, it might put Judge Ross maybe 6 months to a year behind before he could build over there. But you would be able to attack it on every front, and you're not saying one part of Hawkins County is better than some other part. You know, if you committed a felony, we're just gonna throw you away, you're trash, go to prison, we don't care. That's what you're saying to my clients. When you say, well, we're just gonna do it one way and we're not gonna pay attention to these others. I mean, I don't know who in here smokes. But if any of you smoke, and I don't, but after all this commission meeting, I feel like I might need one. Would you give me one? Well, somebody might be like, well, yeah, I'll give you a cigarette. Well, here, I'll give you $1 for it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter until you start getting into like 50-gram drug busts that you see going down to the federal district, which is just down the street from my courthouse. Those are your drug dealers. Okay? What you got are addicts feeding addicts. Right? I go to Sam's Club and maybe I was lucky enough to buy a 36 roll of toilet paper back in the pandemic. All right, if I get 12 of those rolls to my buddy because I want them to be able to use toilet paper, does that make me a dealer? Almost every client that I have, I would say 98% of the people that I service have a substance abuse issue and a mental health issue. We're going to have to attack it everywhere that it rears its ugly head because people are worth it.
Thanks, sir.
Question.
Very briefly, I wanted to apologize to the commission. I lost my cool and I was not respectful and I did not mean to be disrespectful to any of your proceedings. So I just want to say I'm sorry.
Apology accepted. Commissioner Brewer has called for the question.
No objection.
Any objection?
I'd like to recognize, I withdraw my question.
Okay. Ms. Kearns has an objection. Does that have to?
No, I withdraw
He
my,
withdrew his-
I withdraw.
his withdrawal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The question I have, I've sat here and listened to this and we're arguing back and forth and whatever. I want you to know that I'm for this program from the start to the finish. Now, in defense of the baby doe money, I think we have enough money to help a lot of people. However, I would have to say that the recovery court coming out of Carter County, that I'm for that a lot. And these people have come before us and put facts, figures, and what they're going to spend this money for. And no offense, but then I walk in here tonight and I get a proposal from Judge Ross that says I want it all. So I want it all. I'd like to know where my dollar is going. If you could put a proposal together and say, hey, we're going to spend this, we're going to spend that, we're going to put it. But just to say that I would just give you carte blanche, I can't do that. I would like to know more about what your intent is for our county in talking about dollars and cost. Not just what I'm promised to do, but what it's going to cost this county. And that's all, you know, you don't have to do that today, but
I
that's not.
understand. Real quickly, again, I get passionate about this. I've not had really good experiences here, so I get anxious when I get up here, and I just my face. I apologize to her and apologize to you. I understand, like you already said, that you're not going to vote tonight on whether or not you're actually going to give me any money. You're voting tonight on how much you're going to give them. So I'd love to sit down with somebody. Do I know how much it's going to cost to grade that off, to pave it, to build buildings over there? No, I don't know for sure. I'm just asking that we leave that money where it is until we find those things out, and then allocate the money. So just so we have enough to do what we need to do. Can I do it for $1 million? Maybe. Can I do it for 1.2? I don't know. You know, that's all I'm saying. I'm not
I don't
asking you
mean to
today.
rebut this. I don't mean to rebut this. But the only thing I'm saying is that we have people that's putting figures in front of us. And like I'm saying here, is I'm saying that we're gonna donate all of this to an organization, and I don't know what your intent of the money and where and how and what.
Again,
This
I'm
is
not asking you to
fair.
vote on that tonight.
I understand that,
Okay.
sir. I
And have
understand
you
that.
asked them if they've gone through the
Let me
criminal
speak,
court
let me
case?
speak. I understand every bit of that, but I think if the homework had been done, we would have had some figures and know what we're going up against. Rather than the last time you spoke, whenever I walked out of here, I felt very threatened. That, you know, you people don't do this, you people don't do that, you. Let's all try to get on the same page, sir. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it's been a week. You could have, I invited you to come to court. Everybody's got my number.
Sir, can I
got my
tell you
email.
one thing though, sir?
You got questions?
Other people that sit here have things to do just as much as you do. And to come to your court and do all this, I'd love to. But all I'm saying is, I have a little bit of problem just saying, yeah, let's just go with it.
I didn't
I
ask you to
think
do
we ought to
that.
help them all.
Didn't ask you to do that. I just asked you not to give away the 400,000 today. That's what I'm asking.
So you got it? Okay. I believe, Leslie, we can argue this point till the cows come home, so. Commissioner Brewers, call for the question.
You got somebody else on the board, I don't know. You just asked for objection.
Is there any objections to the call for the question?
Yeah, on the board, I'd like to have that voted on, call for questions, see how the whole commission feels.
Okay, it has to pass by 2/3 to cut off the debate.
Okay.
That's the Rogersville.
Of the full membership.
Now, since the Rogersville board.
Chairman Byron, can you explain yes or no, to make sure everybody understands?
2/3 of what's here.
Call for the question to let the debate continue requires a 2/3 vote.
No,
Two-thirds.
It's called the question, so yes is to cut off debate, no is not.
it only takes a
Can
third.
I ask one
yes.
question of Judge Boniface before I vote?
You're out of order.
So I know
Point of order.
I'm on board.
But he called for question, we're trying to decide.
Just ask the question.
Mr. Phillips, would you rule on that, please?
On what?
Can have a speak.
I don't know what it is. Kept them.
Or you can,
It's a real simple question. Is there a deadline? Like, when do you have to know how much you're going to?
wait.
Whoa, it's point of order, man.
No, you can't ask the question until Mr. Phillips rules on the issue.
That's one of my rules on. That's why we vote on the call for question, because there was objection to it. And in order for the call for question to prevail, it has to pass by 2/3 of those here tonight, under the Robert's Rule of Order.
And that doesn't require a second, second for the motion.
Yeah, explain the yes, vote, and no.
Yeah. Yes is to sustain the call for question and cut off debate, no is not to do that.
Everybody clear?
Yes, means the debate ends, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, we're ready.
Can you repeat, yes ends the debate, correct, Chairman?
Yes. Yes is to end the debate, no is not.
Yes is the end.
Yes.
Yes,
So
it
you'll
is.
call the question.
All right,
2/3.
cast your votes, requires 2/3.
And can we clarify that this only ends the debate on the amendment to the amendment? If we got an amendment, then we got to make a motion to go back to. So we got a lot of work to get to, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah, we're calling questions on the amendment, correct?
Everybody, cast your votes.
Yes, 3 no, 2 absent.
Call for question passes, no more debate, vote.
Vote on the amendment.
Now we vote on the amendment.
Is that the 50,000?
That's the amendment, yes.
Okay, for clarification, Ms. Davis, would you please repeat the amendment?
Motion to amend by Commissioner Charles Housewright to amend, reduce the $400,000 proposed of the baby doe money to go to the Northeast Regional Treatment Facility, being reduced to $50,000.
Okay,
Yes is to vote for that amendment, no is not.
We gotta go back and find it.
And this is the majority of the full committee.
You're voting on the amendment.
Can you wait just a minute? Yeah, okay. Just- Motion to amend. Okay, now we're ready.
Okay. Everybody's ready? Cast your vote.
Five yes, 13 no, 1 abstain, 2 absent.
We're back to the original resolution amendment has failed.
Okay. Back to the original.
Mr. Chairman, I call the question.
Call for question.
Give us just a second, please.
I'm gonna call for a vote on it.
Is any objection?
Did he not?
You give them $1.6 million and plan on calling for question? Yeah. Y'all just said it's important.
We will do this by voice vote.
Okay, yes is cut off debate and vote, and no is not to. On the original resolution. Yeah, no is to continue debate. We got to make two thirds.
That's 2/3.
Same as this.
I'll have to do it by voice. Okay, explain it one more time, Nancy, voice.
The call for question has been objected to, so now we're voting on the call for question. So yes is to sustain the call for question and cut off debate. No is not to sustain it and continue debate. Two-thirds vote.
Commissioner Edens,
Yes.
Thacker,
Yes.
Goins. Tally,
Yes.
Roach,
Yes.
Bridwell,
No.
Housewright,
No.
Windiger. Easy. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. No. No. Alvis,
No.
Davis. Yes. Brewer,
Yes.
Barrett,
Yes.
Clunts,
Yes.
Barker. Yes. Jesse,
Yes.
DeWitt,
Yes.
Trent,
Yes.
Kern,
Yes.
Harrell.
No.
We have 5 noes and 19 yes.
No,
No.
no,
14 yes. 14 yes, 5
Call for
no.
question's been sustained, Mr. Chairman, so we now vote.
Okay, glad we got all that behind us. Now, we're ready to vote on the original resolution as presented. Okay. I'd like to cast your votes.
Vote, Hannah.
13 yes, 4 no, 2 abstain, 2 absent.
Resolution passed.